Behind every gospel song that lifts spirits is a story untold Dan for Tamela Mann. That story has taken a deeply personal turn. The powerhouse vocalist, known for her soul-stirring ballads and unwavering presence in the faith community, is now facing one of the most difficult seasons of her life. What fans thought was just a break from the spotlight is now being revealed as a battle with a serious and undisclosed health condition. And while prayers pour in for her recovery, the silence from her camp and the strange whispers surrounding her husband, David Mann, are stirring more than just concern. They're sparking speculation that something far deeper is unraveling behind the scenes. Tamela and David have long been seen as a shining example of love, unity, and spiritual strength. Their marriage, their ministry, their humor, it all seemed bulletproof. But lately, things have shifted. Tamela's absence from major events, her sudden retreat from social media, and her visible fatigue have not gone unnoticed. Close friends say she's been in and out of medical care, undergoing treatments that have left her drained, both physically and emotionally. She's tried to keep it quiet, not wanting to alarm her fans or disrupt the hopeful image she's built over decades. But behind that brave front, there's been real struggle. And in the middle of that storm, David's behavior has left many with more questions than answers. The gospel community was stunned when David was spotted at an exclusive wellness retreat, hosted by none other than Dr. Jackie Walters, a well-known OBGYN and reality star from Married to Medicine. The event wasn't publicized, and attendees say David showed up alone, trying to remain under the radar. But his presence didn't go unnoticed. Neither did the fact that he left with Dr. Jackie through a private exit. It was a moment caught on camera by an attendee and quickly made its way to gossip blogs and fan forums. For some, it was a harmless encounter. For others, it was the spark that lit a fire of suspicion. Why was David, whose wife was reportedly undergoing intense medical care, attending a private event alone hosted by a doctor known for dealing with women's health? Some argue he might have been seeking guidance or counsel about Tamela's condition, perhaps something so serious and personal that only a trusted specialist could handle. But others believe the meeting wasn't just about health. They point to the secrecy, the timing, and David's own cryptic social media post days later. A picture of a dim room, a Bible on a table, and the words, "Sometimes the storm isn't outside the house, it's in the mirror." That single post opened the floodgates for commentary, with some fans expressing support and others calling him out. The most liked response said it plainly: "Tamela is fighting for her life, and this is what you're doing." To make matters more complicated, Tamela has remained silent. No posts, no interviews, no responses. Not even a repost of her own hospital photo received any public support from David online. That level of silence from someone who has always shared her life openly with fans has only fueled the fire. Her recent post, a selfie in a hospital gown with the caption, "Learning to rest and trust at the same time. Keep me in your prayers," brought concern but also confusion. Why wasn't David more publicly involved? Why weren't her children, usually so vocal and visible, speaking up? The truth may be far more complex than what's visible. Some close to the family suggest that David is simply overwhelmed, that the pressure of being a caretaker, a husband, and a public figure is wearing on him. Others hint at deeper fractures in their relationship that may have been there for a while but only now coming to light. One insider mentioned that the couple hasn't been the same lately, that their once vibrant and playful chemistry seems strained, even rehearsed in recent public appearances. Podcast interviews that used to be filled with laughter are now subdued. Church appearances that used to be joint are now solo. Slowly, the cracks have begun to show. And in a world where couples like David and Tamela are held up as examples of faith, love, and resilience, those cracks are more than personal, they're public. For fans who have leaned on their songs and stories during their own storms, the idea that this couple might be struggling is unsettling. They represent more than music. They're symbols of hope, doubt, And when symbols falter, so does the faith of those who believed in them. Even churches that have long welcomed the couple for events and conferences are beginning to take a cautious approach. There are quiet murmurs that a few have postponed appearances, opting to give them space. It's a sign of how delicate their public image has become. In an industry where perception often matters more than truth, even unverified rumors can shift partnerships, cancel bookings, and create waves that take months or years to calm. David and Tamela have spent decades building something that goes beyond gospel. Their story rising from humble beginnings to fame, all while keeping their family intact, has inspired thousands. From Tyler Perry films to gospel tours to their own reality show, their love has been the centerpiece. But love, even the strongest kind, can be tested. And that's what appears to be happening now. The emotional burden Tamela carries not just her physical illness, but the expectation to remain strong, joyful, and faith-filled at all times is immense. And David, for all his charisma and warmth, may be carrying his own silent burdens. If that meeting with Dr. Jackie was about seeking clarity, guidance, or even comfort, it may have come from a place of deep need, not betrayal. But the public doesn't always wait for clarification. They speculate, they assume, they judge. And silence, while often meant for privacy or healing, can sometimes do more damage than a misstep. In the past, when high-profile gospel couples have faced crises, be it infidelity, divorce, or health struggles, they've issued statements, set narratives, and tried to control the impact. The Manns have done none of that. Their silence has become a blank space filled with rumors, guesses, and half-truths. What's real? What's speculation? Only they know. But the longer the silence stretches, the harder it becomes to protect what's left. The gospel world isn't just watching their forming opinions, some sympathetic, others skeptical. And every day that passes without clarity is another day. The couple risks losing the trust and admiration they've spent their lives earning. Tamela's health remains the heart of this story. Her voice, both literal and figurative, has carried people through grief, struggle, and celebration. And now she needs that same support back. But support looks different when it's tainted by suspicion, when fans aren't sure what's real and what's performance. At the end of the day, Tamela and David Mann are human. They bleed, they cry, they struggle. Fame doesn't shield them from pain. Ministry doesn't eliminate personal battles. And gospel songs, as powerful as they are, can't always cover the weight of a private storm, whether they choose to speak up, issue a statement, or continue walking through this season in silence. One thing is certain, this is a defining moment, a time where everything they've built is being tested not just by the public, but by their own faith, love, and commitment to each other. And for fans, followers, and believers who have journeyed with them, all that's left to do now is pray for truth, for healing, and for whatever resolution brings peace to two people who have given so much to so many.